So welcome to our program. I'm Sharon Spangler, and we're going to talk about the Rosewood Lakes Municipal Golf Course. And with me is James Keegan. He is a management consultant for Golf Convergence, and you're from Denver, Colorado, I understand.
Yes, and it's great to be here today in Reno. What a lovely city.
Did you start out as an avid golfer and just turn that into a career?
Well, actually, I started as a caddy many years ago. I was a caddy scholar back in Philadelphia. It's how I got to college. And so my passion is golf. My profession is golf. And Mario Andretti has an expression that if you enjoy your work, you need no hobbies. And so I'm very fortunate. I love what I do.
I know that you've probably spent a lot of time analyzing Rosewood Lake Golf Course in connection with all the other golf courses in our area. What was the most startling thing that stood out to you?
Rosewood Lakes, unfortunately, where it is located, the soils, the agronomy, the conditioning, the wetlands, the marshes, my heart goes out to the superintendent. They have done a yeoman's work with no resources in trying to create a golf experience. But if I must be candid, it's probably one of the most difficult courses to maintain because of the underlying soil structure. It's not a very good golf experience, unfortunately.
So you came up with 4 recommendations for the City Council?
That's correct. We actually use a 7-step process, looking at the local market, the demographics, the weather, technology. We benchmarked the performance of the golf course. We looked at all the agronomy. The recommendations were, there was on the table with the access to the golf course going to be tapped by a connector here, perhaps starting this summer. Should it be a 9-hole golf course, or should land be used across the street? And what should the alternatives be? 9 where it's at and 9 across the street, build an executive course. What about a driving range? What about a chip and putt? What about a little miniature golf course? What do the citizens in Reno would best be served on a basis that would be fiscally self-sustaining? We looked at all those options.
And so what did you come up with?
We believe that the golf course as it exists today should close, that there is some interest in developing an executive course across the street in a private partnership with a firm to manage it. That's probably the most viable option. There is not a driving range in downtown Reno, certainly not one that's lit, and there's all kinds of issues with lighting in a residential area. It's a wide open field, the lights could be positioned correctly, and there will be lots of conversations and the public will have plenty of chances to comment. But the existing golf course, in terms of where the access is being provided right through the heart of it, to expect golfers to go, play 3 or 4 holes and to go under a highway and play 3 or 4 more holes through wetlands and come back through a highway, that's not a very good experience. And unfortunately, what most of the citizens probably don't realize is that for a golf course to be viable, it needs to do $1 million in gross revenue. Over the since 2007, Rosewood Lakes has lost $5.2 million, and it only serves 4,000 citizens. It's losing about $500,000 a year serving 4,000 citizens. And so the tough decision City Council faces, should the golf course be held to a standard of fiscal sustainability, or is this such a valuable intangible asset that they're willing to invest money from the general fund to continue to sustain it? Only 1 out of 7 citizens plays golf. The golfers here, the typical golfer across the country, is 41.5 years of age. His household income is $85,000, and he's Caucasian and 82% are male. Is that the demographic that the city should support to the tune of $500,000 a year? Our job is just to present the information.
Did you also take in consideration the number of golf courses already in this area?
Yeah, we actually looked at that. There's an index, and we're almost like medical doctors, that when we do this study, it's like an x-ray. In the core-based 100 cities, there are 2,640 golfers per 18 holes. In Reno, within 10 miles of Rosewood, there is 2,400 golfers. So not quite at the level of density that you would see across the United States. While there's only 1,700 golfers per 18 holes across the country, when you go somewhere like Iowa, there's 383 courses, there only needs to be 215. And so we've looked at this, and so that would suggest that a championship course is going to be challenged. But what entry-level experience should be created for the citizens that could be financially supported?
Anything else you want to add?
Well, this is a great town, and I love doing this, and it was so much fun to come to Reno. We're presenting here in January. I was actually hoping that we'd be able to come back in August or September because you have such fine golf courses in the area. I was looking to play a few. I'm a panelist for Golf Magazine's Top 100. I'm one of 100 people in the world that vote on the Top 100, and I'm always looking to experience great golf, and you've got some here in Reno.
That's great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thank you all for joining us.